Yes, sir. So we back with another case study from this matriarchal show, divorce court and whatnot. We're gonna see if they're gonna help the sisters out that come here trying to expose these brothers on a day-to-day basis. But we're about to see if this brother is gonna change up his values for this relationship and his woman when she's getting lost in the sauce with all of these dynamics that are ruining the relationship. He's just a simple man trying to watch the spending habits, trying to save, and trying to have a woman that's going to respect herself. She's basically getting lost in her own delusion. Her sister's causing a rough, social media, attention. The list goes on. She's basically doing too much. Because basically when it gets to this point to where you have to go to a third party therapist or actually go to divorce court or whatever it is, your woman pretty much doesn't respect what's coming from you. For the most part, she has to listen or get advice from another quote unquote authority figure, somebody who she might respect more than you. And you got to look at that as a possible red flag within itself. Let's check this shit out though.
Your Honor, as you know, for the first time on Divorce Court, we have a virtual audience and it's filled with your superfans. Today's superfan of the day is Michelle from Chicago, Illinois.
Hi, Michelle. Welcome to Divorce Court. We're so happy to have you with us.
Your Honor, this is the case of Walker versus Lewis.
Thank you, Juan. Mr. Dane Walker.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have brought Miss Akiba Lewis.
Yes, Your Honor.
To court today. You are suing for $1,700 for a lost engagement ring, but you say there are bigger issues in the relationship.
You suing for unused spa treatments, no doubt.
Than just lost jewelry.
That is correct, Your Honor.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $911.20, the value of unused spa treatments?
That's correct.
Okay, I'll hear from you, Mr. Walker. Give me some background and tell me how the two of you met.
Well, Your Honor, Akiba and I met through one of my employees' baby showers, actually. Basically, I was there, talking to one of my coworkers. We were having a good conversation, and Akiba walked up asking if she can sit at the table where we were sitting at. We ran each other, had a little small conversation. When the night started to end, we both started walking back to the car. I'm having a conversation with her, and she started putting her daughter in the car, and I don't know if I got spooked or what it was, but I jumped in my car and I drove off. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to my employee and I was like, hey, listen, who was that person I was talking to? She told me who it was. I said, listen, do me a favor, give her a number. Akiba reached out to me, and then we literally were inseparable from that point.
What are the problems you say that brought you here today? Why are you here?
Well, Your Honor, I'm bringing her here today because of her reckless behavior, spending money, and also her sister driving me nuts as far as coming to my house and getting involved in our business, and also her jealous behaviors.
That's a big no-no. Family members that want to butt heads, pretty much. You got jealousy on one end. You got them not minding their business, always wanting to take their sister's side, wanting to come into your house and cause chaos. Yeah, okay.
Okay, and what do you have to say about that, Miss Lewis?
All false. And I'm here because I'm sick and tired of Dane's ways. He's not the same man that I met when we were dating 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's like as soon as we moved in, light switch. So I want out of this relationship too. He's a grumpy old man. He's controlling. He has hierarchy in the house. I'm just ready for this to end.
When you say there was a switch when you moved in together, what do you mean? Give me an example of that.
When we were dating, he was courting me. So I've never heard this man tell me no in the 2 years that we were dating, even after the engagement. So if I wanted to go on trips, if I wanted to buy this, if I want to go to dinner here, it was always sure, just let me know what date, what time, I'll come pick you up. And that was the dynamic of our relationship.
That's how things go in the beginning. Dudes become instant yes man when he start talking to another female. They want to always be around. They always want to go here. Even when they feel in their gut that they really don't want to do that. They rather just chill or keep it local. They still go along to get along just to get some new vagina. We all been there. We've all done that.
After we signed our contract for our home, I started hearing no a lot.
And why is that?
Well, Your Honor, as I said, we talked about building the future. Future involves buying a home. We've talked about saving money. We've talked about bringing multiple streams of income to really build a big family, a nice foundation. You can't do that when you do reckless spending because you want to just go out a bunch of times and you want to go here and you got to go there. You have to buckle down and really count your coins and make sure that you're really going to be able to achieve these goals.
Well, that sounds like a responsible decision that you're making
Absolutely.
to save more and spend less because the two of you are trying to buy a house and get married. So you think it's a problem that he's not going on trips and buying the things that you request?
I've gotten accustomed to that, Your Honor. So,
But at
yes,
end-
out
at
of
the end goal
nowhere,
is-
now it's just everything is no.
Well, it's
no.
not
I
out of
didn't sign up for
nowhere
that.
because the two of you.
Pretty much you've gotten accustomed to always going out every weekend, going out to these restaurants, going out to eat, becoming a foodie because you don't want to cook at home. You want to go on trips, yada yada. Meanwhile, you got your man, somebody that you basically just bought a home with, but yet you still want to live the same lifestyle. Meanwhile, you still know what he's about, I'm assuming. So this dude is trying to chill, save more money because he's trying to build, but she's getting mad at him because he's pretty much becoming boring in her eyes.
Decided to buy a house and to get married, so it's not out of nowhere. So
No.
when you decide to make a big life decision to get married and to move forward, it costs money. So what he's saying is he'd rather save now instead of spending on the things that aren't really necessary for the two of you. Make a little bit of a sacrifice.
Okay.
And you are not willing to do that?
It's not just his money that he's in control of, it's mine as well. I paid for a staycation, and I did that a lot. We did a lot of weekend getaways. So I did one on my own, and I paid for some of it, but I asked him for the rest. And when I was planning the staycation, it's not like he didn't know, it wasn't a surprise. So he told me that he didn't want to do it. And because I've never heard no before from Mr. Walker, I went ahead and I planned it anyway.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? And you never heard no from Mr. Walker? That's a lie. So you planned something and he said no, and now you're basically trying to get the money for that back because you were trying to quote unquote surprise him, when the man is pretty much trying to keep it simple and not trying to do all of these shenanigans for the gram, because that's what it comes down to. People want to show that they're out and about, that they're here and there, just to show people that they're active. Everybody goes out of their way, especially girls, man. They be competing to see who's eating at the best restaurant, who got the best plate, best outfit, who's going to the best spot, who looks the best, who gonna comment next. The IG has stepped up a lot of revenue for restaurants, rooftops, brunch spots. The list goes on because everybody just wants to be out and about, take pictures and selfies and stories.
Need to be booked. They're expecting the money. I only paid a portion of it.
You
and asked him for
expected
rest.
the money from him when he told you no?
He's never told me no before. So I didn't take it seriously.
Well, that sounds like
That sounds like what a child would say, doesn't it? This woman, 30 years old, saying that he didn't take... How could you not take the man seriously when he said no? Only a child would say some stupid shit like that.
no problem to me, Miss Lewis.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, communication is what it is. You asked him a question, he said no. So you said, because you interpreted that no to really mean yes, you went forward with the trip. You know, because I get so many people in here all the time, and they're not responsible. They just want to spend, and they don't know what it's like to save. And when it's time to make adjustments, financial adjustments in their relationship, they don't know how to do it. You are with a man that actually is making prudent and responsible decisions.
For himself
And you
as
have
well.
a problem.
Okay, I'm here for this. The matriarchal show is coming through. Faith Jenkins, oh yeah, she's letting her have it right now. I wasn't expecting this. I just saw the title and I was like, all right, let's get to it.
It's not just for him. It's for the future that he wants to build with you.
I was working 3 jobs when he met me.
So you should have paid for so when you thought he was going to say yes, you just should have paid for it yourself then.
Yeah, gender.
You had 3 jobs.
When we got together, he asked me to quit. I didn't want to quit because I want to keep up with that. I want to continue to go places. I want to continue to eat out.
Yeah, you want to be independent. You want to be strong. You want to say that you can provide for yourself. You don't need a man to do this, that, and the third. But then on the flip side, you want the man to chip in with the spa treatments and all of these staycations. Come on.
And I was willing to work for it. As soon as I quit, as soon as we moved in together, all that ceased. Now we're just a boring married couple stuck in the house. Before even the pandemic, we were stuck in the house.
Hey, bros, it's sad but true, but a lot of women feel like this. If you're not here to excite them, if you're not there to provide the thrills that they're seeking, they're going to view the relationship and you as boring. The pandemic was a blessing and a curse for a lot of people because they figured out what's what and what's not, what's important and what's not. All of these venues, all of these things that are in vain, all of these materials really aren't that important. There were a lot of breakups or babies being made during everybody quarantining, having nothing else to do but be around each other. So I can't understand how this man sat through quarantining, couldn't go anywhere, dealing with this woman and her sister. Man, he's a better man than most, I tell you.
Want her to quit one of her jobs.
Two.
Well, the reason why, Your Honor, I don't think any man really wants their significant other working 2-3 jobs. If anybody in the house needs to be working 2-3 jobs, I feel like it should be me. Her going to work.
Oh, you gotta be easy, man. They gonna call you misogynist and chauvinistic and all of those words. You can't say shit like that nowadays in the days of equality. Look at her face. She said, oh no, this nigga didn't. But let's be honest, a good amount of dudes are gonna feel the exact same way as this guy. You're working maybe 1 or 2 jobs, but your woman is working 2 to 3 jobs and she's only doing that to maintain a lifestyle. Even if you know that, you're gonna wanna work that extra job. Just off of the strength.
The daytime and then going at night, we never really saw each other. It just didn't make sense.
Okay. What do you say is the problem that you're having with her sister?
That's a whole new animal right there. So her sister randomly will call and say, hey, I'm coming in town. Okay, no problem. How long is she gonna be here for? I'll be here for a couple days. The lady ends up staying for like a month. Not working, not nothing, eating up all the food.
Even the woman that's on the virtual audience said, oh no. Let me go back real quick so y'all can hear this. Even the woman right here that's sitting behind him knew that this is some bullshit. Your little sister is about to mooch and come into our crib and chill for a month. Gonna be eating all of my snacks, all of the food, leftovers, ice cream, drinking all the juice, and ain't gonna be paying for shit just because she's gonna side with you in arguments. Big no.
Randomly will call and say, hey, I'm coming in town. Okay, no problem. How long is she gonna be here for? I'll be here for a couple days. The lady ends up staying for like a month. Not working, not nothing, eating up all the food, electricity come in and out the house when she wants. There's times I wake up in the middle of the night, the front door's unlocked, people can just walk in the house and she's in the room sleeping. But yet, when me and Akiba get into it, she feels the need to get involved in our business and try to tell me that I'm this and I'm that and this and that.
Really?
I'm like, you don't pay no bills in here? Who are you talking?
I mean, let's be honest, bro. You was doing entirely too much talking, and brothers do this day in and day out. They allow too much bullshit to go on around them, and then they got to deal with this on the back end. Either you're going to go to court or you're going to jail. Not hoping that on anybody, but bros, you got to stop allowing nonsense. You're allowing a guest to stick her nose in your business that dealing with her sister. Yes, it's her sister, but she could talk about that shit outside of your house. Is that wrong?
And she thinks it's okay.
Miss Lewis, how old is your sister?
She's 21.
What do you say is happening here?
So this woman is 30, her sister is 21, and she wants to allow this when her sister is a child. So you got 2 children in the house with you, bro, stressing yourself out for no reason. Man, you're a better man than most, bro.
I understand the 1 or 2 times that she's eaten up all the food or left the door unlocked. Yeah, we talked to her, but those are minuscule.
Coming home in the middle of the night and leaving the door unlocked is something that someone would get really upset over. That's not an unreasonable request.
My sister just called in, Judge. She's on the phone, and I'm pretty sure she can explain.
I would love to hear from her. Sasha Lewis, are you on the phone?
Hi, this is she.
How are you, Miss Lewis? Are you at the Walker residence as we speak?
No, I am not.
What's happening here, ma'am? What do you have to say about your sister and her relationship with Mr. Walker?
Honestly, I just feel like he is not the right guy for her. When my sister started dating him, she just became completely different. It was like I didn't know her anymore. I felt like he was kind of like, in a way, controlling her, just changing her, and I really didn't like that. You know, I just feel like he'd be better for somebody else, just not my sister.
When you go to the Walker...
Wow, so you got the younger sister talking about how her older sister was becoming somebody different. She didn't like that. He became controlling or whatever. What does that mean? Does that mean that she's jealous that her sister's attention is going towards something else other than her? Because we got to understand, the young women that are growing up in this era are becoming more narcissistic than ever before. That's an understatement. So now you want to sabotage your sister's relationship all because you may have overheard an argument? Bros got to stop putting up with bullshit just because you're only getting one piece of vagina, bro. It's not worth it.
Residents, are you showing up and staying for weeks at a time? Do you make any financial contributions to their household?
I mean, little stuff, as in cooking dinner some nights, just stuff like that. But no, I don't really give them money to stay there. But I do stay there for some time.
Okay, and what about the times when you come home to their home and you haven't locked the door and he's gotten up and found that the door to the house is unlocked? What's going on?
Those are just minor things, like I just forget.
You consider that to be minor?
Yes.
How could you forget to lock the door? Sleeping on the couch, eating their food, probably not even washing the dishes. It's understandable when family are going to come through, kick it for maybe a weekend, maybe even a week or whatever. You're not expecting them to do much because it's not supposed to be a regular routine. But especially when it's not being talked about, because the sister's not going to look at it as anything because that's her sister. She's going to be basically the mama cub. She's going to be defensive and whatnot. And now they're going to form this into a handicap match against this dude, and he's not going to be able to win.
I do.
And what happened with the incident with the money? I'm looking at the papers. Did you help yourself to some money from Mr. Walker's wallet?
Yes, I did.
Okay, wow. And you feel that it's your right to do so?
It wasn't my right.
Even this sister right here, she knows this some BS. She's like, who raised y'all? You're just helping yourself to money that's not yours. Didn't even let the dude know. And everybody's just looking at it as this is minuscule, according to the sister. She's 30, her sister's 21, and she's not even jumping on her for this? Come on, dude. How many dudes are going to put up with this just because your options are low? Or just because you're trying to be a quote-unquote good guy?
Course, but at the same time, nothing was going to stop me because just seeing my sister in distress.
And what?
Ow, she said at the same time, nothing was going to stop her from taking money because she saw her sister in distress, as if that's normal behavior, as if she's accustomed to seeing that. Or is she just being a drama queen and she's just taking actions into her own hands, regardless of what? Rebel without a cause.